Hi everyone. Just a second. I'm just checking if I'm audible. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the categories of diseases. So it is just working. 1 second. All right. So categories of diseases we will see. Okay. So before that, let me introduce myself. I am Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I am an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. I think there is some issue. Let me just check it. Yeah. Now it is fine. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So join with us in Telegram. So for homework and class notes, you can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10, and Telegram channel Unacademy ICSE and ISC boards. So this link you will find in the description box. Okay. So you can click on the link and join the channel here. 1 second. Okay, so here we are conducting free classes, that is which we call as special classes on Unacademy platform. Okay, so there the educator will be taking a class. Okay, and you have an option to chat. Also emojis are available. So basically interaction can occur, so you can interact with the educator, you can interact with the other learners as well if a discussion session is going on. Okay, and also when a question, so when you are typing in continuously, so there is a chance that your question might get lost. Okay, so for that we have a separate section, that is a question tab, where you can type in your question, attach an image, and you can send it to the educator. So educator will be getting a notification that a learner has asked the doubt, so they will be solving your doubt during a live class itself. Okay, and again other than that, so there is a poll option also which is available. So the question and the options are available on slide. Okay, and the educator will be giving a poll where you can choose the specific answer which is right. So this is also done, so we can conduct quizzes for you all. So depending on so since your currently you are having what is it, like you are having your final exam, so it can be for class 10 or for class learner, like 9, 11, 12. So for all of you, this is the final exam time. So basically we are all conducting a poll war or a quiz on different chapters. So all you need to do is download the Unacademy Learners app, and this is gonna help you crack your finals. Okay, and after that the quiz is done, so we will be sharing the leaderboard where you can have a look at your rank. Okay, so whether like the first rank, second rank, and the third rank. So basically you can compete with your friends as well. Okay, so Unacademy subscription features, so you can learn live from the comfort of your home. Unlimited access to all the courses will be there. So different educators are coming up with different courses, so you will have access to all the courses if you are taking a plus subscription. Okay, so top educators of India are going to take the classes, that is on one platform, Unacademy platform. Okay, so then there is regular doubt clearing session will be done, or we can also say it as an answer writing session. So what exactly happens in this session? So after about every 3 sessions, so we are conducting one session, that is a fourth session, which we call as a doubt clearing session or a answer writing session. So any doubts you have related to the topics that are previously covered, so you can clear your doubts in this particular session. Okay, and also let's say you do not have any doubts. Okay, so we can either revise, or we are going to conduct the poll votes also. Okay, we can conduct the quiz also. So specifically this session is completely for you all, where we can practice or clear your doubts. Then complete coverage of a syllabus is done, mentorship and guidance is given, the study material is given in the form of a PDF, then practice test series, live test series. Then you have access to different batches also. So if you want to learn in Hindi, so you can go for the batch which is going on in Hindi. You can go for the English batch also if you want to learn it in English itself. So you will have access to different batches as well. Then there is a daily practice section, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQ and subjective test series. So you will have many of these to take it. Okay, so you will have access to all of this if you are going for a plus subscription. And you can use my referral code VANIYT to get 20% discount or 20% off on the subscription only for today, because Feb 18th is the last day for this offer. Usually it will be 10% off. Okay, but today we have an offer where you are going to get 20% off on the subscription. So you can try with the 6 months, like you want to know how exactly this works. So you can try with the 6 months, or if you are planning for your completion of class 10. Okay, so you can go for 12 months of subscription. Okay, so as so 12 months subscription if you are buying, so extra 2 months you will be getting. So this offer is available, so I'll just show you this. So there is a double dhamaka offer where you can get 20% flat off on the referral code, that is VANIYT. Okay, so this is my referral code. With this referral code you will be getting 20% off. So you can subscribe for any of this category depending on your preparation. So if you are in CBSE, or if you are preparing for IIT JEE, or if you are preparing for NEET, or if you are preparing for MH board, that is Maharashtra board, Tamil Nadu board, ICSE and ISC board. So for all this code is applicable. And today is the last day for this one, where you will be getting 20% off. And on top of it, so there is a one more offer where you can buy 12 months or above subscription. Okay, so basically you are getting extra 2 months. Okay, so let's say you are buying 12 months subscription, so basically you are getting 14 months of subscription with flat 20% off. Okay, so this is valid for first 500 subscribers, so you can go for this one. Okay, so this is the same one which I was talking about. And you can also get in touch with your counselor, so if you have any queries. Okay, so queries about the preparation journey, queries about the subscription, and want to know about the latest offers, so you are just one call away. So you can call on this number. Okay, and don't forget to use the referral code VANIYT to get 20% off on the subscription. So you can also use this code to unlock the free products that are available on Unacademy. Okay, so let's get started. Yes, anybody who wants to say what exactly is the disease? So you can type in your question here. What exactly is disease? I mean answer, not the question. No? All right. I don't know why the chat is anyway not available. All right. So what is a disease? The term disease. So let's get started with this topic. So we are going to study about the categories of diseases today. So what is a disease? Okay, so the term disease, when we mention, so it is a condition in which the normal functioning of a body is disturbed. Okay, so what exactly is the meaning of this one? So now let's say I'm an healthy individual. Okay, so I'm an healthy individual, so I do not face any problems mentally, I do not face any problems physically, I do not face any problems behaviorally as well. Okay, so now when we mention about a disease, so this can be many times such conditions are not very serious. That means now a disease is basically a departure from a normal health. Normal health health is what? You are physically, mentally and behaviorally, or we can say socially fit. Okay, so that is a health or a healthy condition what we mentioned. So disease when we mention, so it is a departure from that normal condition where the structural and functional disorder of a body can occur. Okay, so it can physically you might not feel well. So now to make the awareness about the health, so World Health Day is celebrated. So you will get this question for your finals. Okay, so most of the school, when I was teaching in a school, I myself used to ask this one. So World Health Day, so this is basically April 7th is the World Health Day. Okay, so categories of diseases we will see. Okay, so there are different categories, so depending on the extent of occurrence. Okay, like endemic, epidemic, pandemic, sporadic. So we will see what are these terms exactly. So you might have heard about the pandemic or maybe epidemic these days because of the corona. So you might have heard, or I think you have heard, because we are living between this pandemic itself, or we know it can be epidemic also. So we will see what is the meaning of this one. Okay, so communicability when we mention, so whether this particular disease is infectious, or the meaning is whether it is caused due to germs, or non-infectious, whether it is caused due to the body's own poor functioning. Okay, so we will see that. Then we will have a look at the kinds of pathogen, whether the bacterial disease or a viral disease or some other type of a germ that has entered our body. Okay, so then the kind of transmitting agent, so here whether it is waterborne, the foodborne, airborne or the insect-borne. Okay, so let's see with respect to communicability, if we are mentioning, so the germ is playing a role there, alright, or we can say a pathogen is playing a role there. That means this pathogen has entered from unhealthy individual. Okay, so pathogen has somehow taken an entry from unhealthy individual into the healthy individual. So how is it, how can it take an entry? It can be, let's say you are sitting beside an unhealthy individual. That means, so he might be having a cough or she might be having a cold. So when you sit beside them, so basically beside them or somewhere nearer them, or let's say they are having a rashes and you touch their rashes, so basically any of these modes, so basically what can happen, so they can cough. Okay, or you are coming in contact with them. Okay, or they can sneeze, and the droplets which are released from them. Okay, so these droplets, when they cough and sneeze, so those droplets will have the germs. Okay, and through these the droplets which are having a germ, so they are going to take entry into a body of unhealthy individuals. They can take entry through the nose, they can take entry through the mouth, they can take entry through your eyes. So depending on that, so which part is exposed and where easily they can take an entry. So these are all entry points. Okay, so eye, nose, then ear, then mouth. So these are all entry points where easily the microbes can get in. And the skin, what is there? So usually skin is impermeable. Only if a damaged skin is there, the germs can take entry, or otherwise the skin is almost impermeable. Okay, so with respect to that, so this is the communicable diseases are basically infectious diseases what we mentioned. So they can be transferred from unhealthy individual to the healthy one. Okay, so now there is the other one is a kind of a pathogen. So depending on a type of a pathogen that has entered, so pathogen can be bacteria. Okay, so there are different pathogens. So this pathogen can be bacteria, or the pathogen can be fungi. Okay, which can cause a disease. This pathogen can be virus. All right, the pathogen can be, we can say that this can be a protist also, or a protozoan. Okay, so any of these pathogens when they enter, so they are going to make our body their home. So our body is going to become Their home. Who is their home? So their home is basically the pathogen's home. Okay, so this is gonna become the pathogen's home, and that is how we are all falling sick. Okay, and we need to prevent this. So how you are going to prevent? So you need to consume a healthy diet, or you need to stay away from unhealthy individual. That's what was done during this pandemic time period where we are all covering our mouth, and then the school was locked, so you were staying only in your home. So if again if anybody has a corona in your home, then everyone would get it. So basically prevention has to be done in a very good way. Okay, so quarantine measures. So you are now all aware about this one, like what exactly is quarantine, how exactly we are getting a disease. Okay, so we will study about the different diseases that are there. So communicability, whether this is one which can be transmitted from the healthy unhealthy individual to the healthy individual, so that we mention as a communicability. Okay, and kinds of pathogen visa. So kinds of transmitting agents, depending on what type of a food that you are going to consume. So let's say you are taking a water. One second. Okay, so you are going to take a water. So this water you are drinking. So this water what you are consuming, so if it is contaminated, okay, so let's say you are going to eat roadside pani puri or any shop pani puri. It might not be roadside only. Okay, so any of the pani puri where you are going to drink this water. Okay, and this water might be having germs, so that is a contaminated one. So it is not a well treated one. So this might be a sewage water might have taken an entry. So in that case, the typhoid germ we can find in that, the salmonella typhi. Okay, so this typhoid germ, if it is present and you drink the same water, then one would get a typhoid fever. Okay, so same with respect to the food also. So depending on old food you are consuming, okay, and lot of flies are sitting on that, or a cockroach might have come expo, like it has tasted, the cockroach also might have tasted your food. So in all these cases, it is going to spread lot of germs onto your food. So that is why cover your food, eat fresh food, because whenever you are consuming a old food, so because there is a chance that microbes might have taken a growth inside. Okay, so and you consume it and you will fall sick. So contaminated food or airborne, and anyway this airborne also we can avoid to some extent. So this is based on basically we are wearing a mask. So this is the one. Okay, so pollen grains, the dust also you can avoid with the same, and being in home. So this is what we did during again the pandemic time period. So being in home, not getting exposed to the outside air where a lot of people are sneezing, coughing. Okay, so basically you can avoid the airborne disease also. Insect borne, the mosquito bite. Okay, so you need to avoid a mosquito. So this is very dangerous because it can give you a lot of viruses, like dengue. It can give you a chicken pox, the sleep. The other one is African yellow fever. What is there? So a lot of disorders can occur because of this vector mosquito, so which is an insect borne disease also. So one need to be very careful about these kind of diseases. So let's have a look at the categories of diseases based on the extent of occurrence. Okay, like where and all this disease is present. So there is an endemic, there is epidemic, then there is pandemic, and there is sporadic. Okay, so what exactly are these? Why do we call it as an endemic? Why do we call it as an epidemic? Why do we mention it as a pandemic or a sporadic? Okay, so let's have a look. So let me just check this. One second. All right, so okay. Okay, so endemic, when we mention when the disease is found in certain area. Okay, so only in certain area we can find, this is gonna attack only a fewer number of people. Okay, so let's say here yellow fever in case of a certain African countries. So this one we are saying, so just now I was saying about this one, there is one particular insect, or let's say there is a mosquito, which is this type of mosquito we can find only in the African countries. Okay, so we can find the type of mosquito. So there are different species, different varieties of mosquito we can find, you know. It's not that the one which we always find in here. So there are different varieties in that, and the type of mosquito that is found only in the African countries. Okay, not anywhere. So this mosquito, it will survive only in that region, and you know, this can carry a particular virus. Okay, and when it carries a virus and it bites an unhealthy individual, so basically it is carrying a virus because it has bitten the unhealthy individual itself. Then the same mosquito is going to bite a healthy individual, the other individual is also going to get a yellow fever. Okay, so it is depending on the type of mosquito which can carry only this type of a virus. So now this mosquito can be called as a vector. Okay, so this vector is going to carry a virus, and this carried virus will be given to the healthy individual from an unhealthy individual because of a mosquito bite, and this individual is going to get a disease. So now the endemic is restricted there, so found in a certain area only, attacking a fewer number of people. Now yellow fever is restricted to only the African countries because mosquito is found only in that country, and only that type of mosquito can carry that type of a virus. The virus is yellow fever virus, then only an individual is going to get a yellow fever. The another example is goiter in case of sub-Himalayan regions. Okay, so here, as like, you know, if we have to discuss about this one, so this is above sea level, you know, Himalayan mountain regions and all, so they are all above sea level, and above sea level the soil in them. Okay, so the soil, what is there, so it will have very less iodine content. Okay, so there is iodine content is very less, and the vegetables which are grown over there, okay, so those will also not have this iodine content. So external source of iodine has to be taken, and because their soil content is having very less amount of iodine, the vegetables grown in those soils also will have very less amount of this mineral, and because of the deficiency of this one, that is deficiency of iodine, so this can cause a goiter in an individual. Okay, so goiter can be there. So this goiter, when it appears, so basically there is a swollen gland which we can see in here. Okay, so that is a goiter. So now in this case, so this is found in Himalayan region because only in those areas the soil which is there, so that is deficient in iodine, and because of vegetables which we are consuming, so that will also not have iodine, and one can get deficiency of iodine. Okay, so same thing will not occur in this region. So let's say here in, like, you know, like Goa, or let's say Kerala is there, then you know, in our case of Bangalore, Udupi and all is there. So here in all beaches are there, so sea level, so there is too much the coastal areas. Okay, so instead of giving all those examples, so coastal areas will have a lot of iodine will be there. Okay, so lot of iodine is there, and with the lot of iodine, so the one would not get this particular goiter in those people who are living in this area. So only in the sub-Himalayan region we can find this region. So that is depending on the environment, depending on the type of a condition, so the disease is restricted to only that area, so that we call as a endemic. Okay, so I hope it is clear. All right, 1 second. Okay, so epidemic, when we mention, so when the disease breaks out, okay, so disease is gonna break out and it is gonna spread from one place to the other place affecting a large number of people at the same time. Okay, so now coronavirus, what we mentioned, so this can be an epidemic also, pandemic also, we will see how. Okay, so now what happened, so this started in the Wuhan region. So the disease breaks out. Okay, so this corona has broken, like the not broken, so this has spread. Okay, so this disease breaks out and spread. Okay, so from Wuhan it got spread. Okay, so it started spreading to different places, that is from place to place, where it affected a larger number of people at the same time. Okay, so plague in India in 1994 also was the same thing, where it was spread from Surat to many other places. Updated books when you are going to get, so they'll surely include about the coronavirus, because we all, like lot of us have faced the issues with respect to pandemic, so this is gonna be updated anyway. Okay, then pandemic, when we mention, so when the disease is widely distributed worldwide. Okay, so we can find the AIDS patient in the US, we can find AIDS patient in India, we can find them in Japan, we can find them in China, we can find them in Russia, so we can find them in Australia. So we can find these type of individuals. So why do we call now the coronavirus, when we mentioned the COVID, so it was an epidemic. Okay, so this one I hope you understood the definition. The pandemic is also the same thing, but it is not at the same time. Okay, so we can find any time, but throughout the world we will find this disease. Okay, so when the disease is widely distributed worldwide, so we have coronaviruses in India, we have corona cases, not the viruses, corona cases. So we have corona cases in US, then it is there in Asia, Russia, China, Australia, different African countries. So everywhere these are there, so that is the pandemic. So worldwide distribution, here also we can consider worldwide distribution, but with respect to, they are all present at the same time, so this might be at a same time or a different time. So basically we can find different cases of a AIDS. Okay, so pandemic is, epidemic is a type of a pandemic itself. All right, so moving on to the next one, the sporadic. So now when we mention sporadic, when there are scattered individual cases of disease. So example of malaria, if I am taking. Okay, so we have, let's say my area. Okay, now this is my area where there are too much of Anopheles mosquitoes there. Okay, so this Anopheles mosquito is there, and there is an individual who has got a malaria. Okay, so this individual has got a malaria because this Anopheles mosquito has bitten the unhealthy person and has bitten the healthy person. So he has got that plasmodium, that is a protozoan in his body. Okay, so now I can find so few cases. It is not that it is widespread. Whenever a mosquito bites, then only an individual is going to get a malaria. Okay, so that is based on the type of a mosquito. Not all the mosquitoes are going to give us malaria. Okay, so now when there are scattered individual, like we can find here and there. So some cases of malaria I can find here, some cases of malaria I can find here. So scattered individual cases of a disease. So this is not like a completely a fast spreading is there, so it is not like that. So depending on a mosquito, depending on a area, depending on a patient if is there, so then only this malaria spread can occur. Okay, so this is with respect to malaria, and same with respect to cholera as well. Okay, so I hope this sporadic is also clear. Then categories of diseases based on communicability. So whether the disease is classified into, so basically non-communicable or a non-infectious one, the communicable one or a infectious one. So what exactly is the meaning of this one? Yes, anybody? So the meaning of the infectious one, the non-infectious one. So which one is non-infectious or which is infectious? So infectious I already discussed. So pathogen role is a main role play. The germs are playing a major role there. In case of non-communicable or non-infectious diseases, okay, so there is no germ. All right, now this is an individual. Okay, so this individual is having a problem with his heart. Okay, so let's say the heart which he is having, so this heart, so there is a block. Okay, so there is a block in the blood vessel of this heart. Okay, so there is a heart, and you know the heart is having many blood vessels which are going to different parts of a body. So from here the blood vessel which is coming to different part, so there is a block which is occurred. Okay, so because of this block which is there in this blood vessel, so there is no transport of blood properly occurring. Okay, and when that is done, so because of that, you know, one would feel a chest pain. So this is not because of a germ, but this is because of his lifestyle, you know. So what exactly is lifestyle here? So based on what type of a diet he is taking. So if he is taking a fat rich food always, then there is a chance that these fats will get deposited in your blood vessel. Okay, so along with certain fibrous tissue covering the fat, or you know, calcium deposition, so anything. So basically the block can occur. Okay, so this block which is occurring, so this is the one which is responsible for him to feel not well. So for him to feel a chest pain, or maybe you know, oxygen deficiency might be there, so he is not forming enough amount of energy. So this is all because of the issues that he is having with certain organ. Okay, so this can happen with his any of the body parts. So this is not because of the germs. So there are no germs here. Okay, so that is non-communicable or non-infectious. So in these disease there is no germ of any kind, but they cannot spread to a from a patient to another patient, because it is because of his faulty organ. Okay, so faulty organ will not spread from one organ to the, I mean, one person to the other person. Because now I am having a faulty organ doesn't mean that the one which who is sitting beside me will also have a faulty organ. This is not a communicable one, this is non communicable one, because it is because of my lifestyle that, you know, there is a block that is created in my body. Okay, or a heart vessel. Or it can be with respect to diabetes also. If the pancreas, again a lazy lifestyle you are leading, okay, so there is no much of a exercise, then you are not bending much, so pancreas, you know, so these cells need to produce insulin continuously. So if you are not bending, so there is no working which is occurring on the pancreas. So this lazy lifestyle also can lead to pancreas which might not produce enough amount of insulin, and if enough amount of insulin is not produced, the blood glucose sugar level, that is the blood glucose level, is going to increase because of very less amount of insulin that is available. Again, this is depending on the individual's lifestyle. So this is depending on the individual. Okay, so now this individual who is there, so he is not working out, he is not maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So in that case, there is deficiency of hormone can occur, or it can be not just because of a regular exercise. So that might be, it can be genetic also. Okay, so we cannot say that it is always a lazy lifestyle itself. So it can be genetic also. So in all those cases, what will happen, so this individual is not getting enough amount of insulin, and because of that the glucose level is not maintained. Okay, so now with respect to same, one second. Yeah, so now with respect to same, so this cannot spread because insulin is not produced in his body but not in the other. So this is not gonna spread from one individual to the other. So that we call as a non-communicable. So example, the diabetes, the color blindness, so this is again genetic, the heart attack, the beriberi, so this is with respect to vitamin deficiency. If you are not taking a proper food, okay, so if you are not taking fruits on a daily basis, if you are not consuming minerals on a daily basis, so one would feel, I mean, one would face lot of difficulties with their health. Okay, so that is can be because of the deficiency disorder as well. So very scurvy, rickets, so many of the diseases can be deficiency of the nutrients which are not available. Now with respect to communicable or a infectious disease, so these are caused by some germs. Okay, so some germs are going to cause a disorder. So germs germ somehow must reach a new healthy person. So they must reach a healthy person before he can suffer from the disease. Okay, so now in that case, the cause of a disease is basically a pathogen. Okay, and it transmission from one person to the other called as a infection. Okay, so pathogen is the one which is causing a infection. So an infectious disease usually does not appear immediately because there is a incubation period. Okay, so again I'll explain you what it is. So here these are caused by germs itself, that is in case of communicable disorders. Okay, the somehow they'll reach a healthy individual. So somehow is basically, by sneezing, coughing, or you come in contact with the person who is having a rashes here, so your skin comes in contact with those rashes, then you are getting those germs. Okay, so basically it is reaching your body somehow. So in all these cases, the pathogen and its transmission is going to vary, okay, depending on a type of a pathogen. So once it enters your body, so it is going to cause an infection in your body. So this infectious disease usually will not appear immediately. Let's say virus has taken an entry, okay, but immediately it might not see a effect or symptoms. Okay, so 2 days it will take for me to show the symptoms. So what are the symptoms? It can be fever, it can be cough, it can be cold, so any of these them. So now, for viruses, like, for COVID virus itself, so earlier they had 14 days quarantine, 21 days quarantine. So this is all based on, so the quarantine is basically, or the incubation period when we mention, so it is the time of entry of the germ. Okay, so incubation period when we mention, so it is the growth period for a bacteria or any pathogen to show its entry into our body. So this is the growth period of pathogen. Okay, so inside a host, all right, so inside a host, so once it enters, so from, like, from once the time it enters the host body and until the time, okay, so until the time the first symptoms are seen. Okay, so first symptoms are seen only after the germ has taken an entry and it has start multiplying inside your body, so that we call as a incubation period. Okay, so incubation period is the one which is going to vary in different organisms. So now here the common examples we can say, the cholera, smallpox, malaria, so all these are the examples where they will take a time to show their symptoms. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So communicable diseases or infectious disease, so there is a incubation period. Incubation period is the period between the entry of the germ and appearance of the first symptoms of the disease. So that means once it enters your body, so this is growing. Okay, so incubation is nothing but, so this germ is growing inside your body. That means it is undergoing a cell division. So multiple bacteria, multiple pathogens or multiple fungi are being formed inside your body. Okay, so infectious diseases are always due to some disease causing organism called as a pathogen. Okay, so pathos is disease, gen is producing, so disease producing organisms. Okay, so pathogens include a wide variety of organisms, that is following is a list of some common pathogens that are given. Okay, so we will have a look at them. So now the bacteria, which is basically cholera, then there is typhoid, tuberculosis, these are the bacterial disorders. The viruses, when we mention HIV, AIDS, the chicken pox, the hepatitis are the example. Then when we mention about the protozoa, so it is a malaria, amoebic dysentery, sleeping sickness are the conditions. Then helminthic, the worm. Okay, so the worm which is entering, so it is a ascariasis, taniasis, filariasis. So all these are the worms which are growing inside your body and they can also cause changes in your body. So now this is the incubation period which is given for some of the disease. So you can see the variation is going to happen. So chicken pox 14 to 21 days, rabies it is about 1 month, it will take a time to show the first symptom. Okay, Then leprosy, so it will take several years to show the symptom. HIV/AIDS, it is up to 12 or more years as well. Pneumonia, when we mention, just 1 or 3 days. Diphtheria, 2 to 5 days. Cholera, 2 to 6 days. Tetanus, 4 to 20 days. Then gonorrhea is a sexually transmitted disease again, so this one is again 5 to 10 days. Poliomyelitis, 7 to 14 days. Typhoid, 7 to 21 days. Measles, that is 10 to 12 days. Smallpox, 7 to 12 days. Whooping cough, 10 to 15 days. Mumps, it is again 12 to 26 days. So all of these organisms, what are they? So they are having a different growth rate. Depending on that, one would get a disorder's condition, or the symptoms are going to be seen only after the incubation period. Okay, so how do the viruses differ from the bacteria? So now this is with respect to virus, this is with respect to bacteria. So viruses, when we mention, so these are very small. Okay, so these are visible only by an electron microscope. So this can be seen by a lighter microscope also, that is not sorry, light microscope. Okay, so light microscope, the one which you use in your schools, okay, so schools and all are having this microscope. Compound microscope might be there, and simple microscope. So these are light microscopes. Okay, but electron microscopes, you will not handle it easily, so there will be a particular individual to handle this one. Okay, so I have just seen an electron microscope, I have not handled as such. Okay, but um, when I was working, so I was working in a particular laboratory. Okay, so there we used to handle different microorganisms. So their electron microscope was there, so I just know a bit, but I have never handled it. Okay, because again it is costly, and there is actually we will be whatever sample we want to observe, so we need to coat them with the gold. Okay, so gold coating has to be done there. So that is why, so depending on a type of sample, again not always a gold. Okay, so depending on a type of sample, so that is one thing. So for electron microscopy, that is the case. Okay, so then non-cellular, so these are not cell, when they are outside. Okay, so they are dead, but when they enter inside a host, okay, so then they will become living. So these are non-cellular, so we are like we are confused whether to call them as living or a dead. So these are single celled again, so these have no metabolism, but these are having a metabolism. Okay, that means they can perform metabolic activity, where they can form a glucose, where they have an enzyme. So this enzyme can break down this lactose into glucose, then glucose it can consume. So all those metabolisms are there. But virus is going to use our, like when it enters our body, my cell is having a function of anabolism, catabolism. That means constructive reaction can occur, destructive reactions can occur in my body. Okay, that means glucose is being converted into glycogen. That means all the glucoses are joined together, glycogen formation is occurring. So this is a constructive reaction. Destructive reaction, if I am saying, so same glucose, whenever requirement of a glucose is there, so same glucose is broken down. I mean the bond between these glucose is broken down, so that we get a individual units of glucose, and this we call as a destructive reaction or a catabolism. So this is anabolism. This one is catabolism. So all these can occur in our body, and virus is going to use our mechanism itself, and that is how it can take the working machinery, or the machinery of our host cell, it is going to take, and that is how it can survive. So there is why that is why the viruses are not having a metabolism, but they can take the machinery of the host cell, and they can take the benefit of this one. Take no food by any method, so they are not going to take any food, they take food by the absorption. Okay, so they are not taking food, inside a cell only they can live, but if they are on the outside, so they cannot survive also. So it is basically like a dead organism, it will be there. Okay, so take food by absorption, these do not grow and do not divide. Okay, whereas these grow in size and divide to produce more bacteria. Okay, so these do not grow, these do not divide also, but they are using the mechanism or the machinery of our body itself, and then they are multiplying. Okay, they are not multiplying, so they are surviving inside. Okay, so these grow in size and divide and produce more bacteria. So these can be crystallized, these cannot be crystallized, so we cannot crystallize them. Okay, so command the host cell to produce the virus. These are going to self produce. Okay, that means a binary fission can occur, so binary fission will occur there. That means this cell will divide into two cells. Now let's say this is the human cell, the virus has entered here, and the virus will make sure that many such multiple viruses are produced by our own cell. Okay, many viruses are produced by our own cell. That means the virus is going to take the working machinery of a cell, and it will make sure that many copies of viruses are formed inside. Okay, so that is command the host cell to produce more viruses. This is going to self reproduce. Okay, so all produce diseases in case of a man. Okay, so all of these are going to produce a disease in case of man, animals and plants, and some are gonna be, so here not all of the bacteria are bad bacteria, so some are good bacteria also there. So some are harmless, some are again useful, and some are disease producing. Okay, so the ones which are disease producing, so those can be dangerous ones also, but anyway for some treatment is available for these again. So these can also be dangerous, but our body can fight off this if the exposure to a virus is done on a like vaccine basis. Okay, so or it can be a direct the active immunity itself, but in that case again a time is required for the formation of WBCs. Okay, so here the we will see certain questions with respect to this tuberculosis. Okay, so tuberculosis is caused by which type of a organism? Okay, so whether it is a mycobacterium tuberculosis, vibrio, anabina, nostoc. So as the name itself suggests, it is a mycobacterium tuberculosis. Okay, so mycobacterium tuberculosis itself is causing a TB. Okay, so TB is caused by this particular condition. So incubation period for typhoid is, so whether it is 7 to 21 days, 6 hours, then 1 day, half a day. So this is going to be 7 to 21 days. So I'll show you this. Whether they have mentioned, yes, so typhoid it is 7 to 21 days. Okay, so it will take 7 to 21 days time period to show the first symptom. So incubation period is 7 to 21 days. That means the first symptom. Okay, so first symptom we can see only after this 21 days, or it can be after 7 days, or anywhere between these 7 to 21 days. So these are the ongoing batches. So if you prefer to learn in Hindi, so you can go for the Udan batch. If you prefer to learn in English, then you can go for the Champions batch. So again, these are the ongoing batch. So this has already started from 1st of Feb. So there are recordings which are available, so you can watch the recordings also, and you can attend the live sessions of which are not yet done. Okay, so here for to have access to batches, you need to take the plus subscription, and plus subscription you can take with the referral code Vani YT, where you will be getting 20% off today. Okay, only today offer is there, that is Feb 18, so it is gonna end from tomorrow. And also we are conducting a ACE for finals for plus. This is basically a test series we are conducting, and also analysis is done. So duration is 60 minutes. The number of questions are going to be 30 here. So every Saturday and Sunday we are conducting this. Okay, and analysis also is followed by the test. Then one shot revision, so solve and practice important questions for your final exams. So these for all these classes we are conducting a one shot revision also. Okay, so also we are conducting a quiz here, so practice important questions. So we are conducting a quiz also. So you can take up these sessions, and this is gonna help you crack your finals. So you get one more chance. So Unacademy Prodigy is extended. So see you on Feb 27th. So this is there on the Feb 27th. The timing is gonna be 12 to 1 p.m. So here you will win a chance to a prize worth rupees 10 crore. Okay, so there is a chance for you all to get the college grant, a scholarship, or you can win the MacBook, iPhone, then the Amazon vouchers and Amazon Echo Dot. So you can win all of these from the Prodigy. Okay, so all it takes is your 60 minutes of your time. Okay, and it is a aptitude test, so you can go for this one. Okay, so it is a aptitude test. So let me just check if this is visible. All right. Okay, so how to watch my special classes? All you need to do is download the Unacademy Learner app, open the app and click on Get Started. Then you can enter your mobile number, sign up using the email ID. Then you can choose your category, class 6 to 12 you can choose. Again, ICSE category will be available, so you can choose ICSE class 9. Okay, then the language of preference you can choose English, Hindi or English. Okay, and then you can go to the description, so you will find a special class link as well. So you can click on that, click on notify me, and you will be getting a notification 10 minutes before the class starts. And you can use my referral code to get 20% off on the subscription today. And with that you are also you will also get a to unlock. Okay, so using the same code you can also unlock the free products that are there on Unacademy, like Prodigy itself. So you can use Vani YT to unlock. So any queries you have about the preparation journey, or about the subscription, or about the latest offer, so you are just one call away. So you can contact them on this number and use the code Vani YT for 20% discount. And also to unlock also you can use this code. So download the Unacademy app now and try all of these features for free, and this is my referral code. So you can also subscribe to us on Unacademy, that is Unacademy ICSE and ISC boards. Also you can download the Unacademy Learner app from the Play Store and start using or start attending the free classes, or you can go for the plus subscription as well. Okay, so see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone, take care, thank you so much.